and the culture is created is coming. They're coming, and they're coming, and they want you to know. They're all over going on the news, ABC, CBS, Fox. It was all the same script. They're watching you. You bet. They'll be looking through your windows. Guess what? It's true. The census was getting a GPS so drones can mark and make sure they're over the right house. Oh, all that stuff that people said Steve Quayle and I were making up, that census workers told us, was all true. What do you think a zip code is? It's a artillery mark point. They have other points after that. Well, now... oh, yeah, it's artillery placement points. It's a military digit code. We've been under this for a while. Now they've got your house marked, and they say, your tax money, 30,000 drones. Washington Post. 30,000 drones, and they're announcing, oh, they will be weaponized. And they're announcing in Chicago, this was the headline in the Chicago, was it Tribune? I couldn't believe it. It was public safety announcements being announced on sound cannon. And they go around doing the sound cannon noise and then making announcements that it's for your safety. Oh, yeah, was it for the safety of Kelly Thomas where they tortured him for 10 minutes, holding down every arm and leg and then saying, don't struggle, as they laughed, tasering him and crushing his windpipe, jaw, ribs, internal organs, skull, big pool of blood. Oh, yeah. It's all for our safety, isn't it? And don't worry, all you pot-bellied enforcers who get off on this. Just give your kids GMO, give them the shots, drink the fluoride yourself, and enjoy. Because let me tell you, you're not getting out of this either. When your masters finally release the main bioweapon plague, when you're dying, remember, your masters killed you, scum. All right, I already digressed off into drones, but we're going to be covering it coming up in the next segment because people are finally concerned about it. I mean, I remember reading Pentagon public statements 15 years ago that most of the Air Force by 2012, more than half of it will be converted over to drones. They've now done that. They've got something like 15,000 Predators. Last time I checked, the Air Force does, and they're talking about doubling that. Even the transports are going to be remote control. This gives the technocrats power over everything and cuts human decisions out. All these science fiction movies where humans go out to space. No, it's going to be robots. And the elite believe they're going to merge with them, and they're building the technocracy in that direction, whether that's true or not. I should break down their master plan more often. It's so big. Side issue. I'm going to come back after the break. Spy drone almost causes mid-air collision with jet over Denver. FAA investigating extremely dangerous incident. And it's the drone that did it, but don't worry. They're going to come out and say, watch, in the future, just like they are with cars now, the answer is make the aircraft remote control with a ceremonial pilot to sit there and mind it in case there's a problem, taking humans out of the equation so that they can be synced with the drones. That's another system of problem, reaction, solution when you're going to have 30,000 in the skies. And then this story's up at Drudge Reporter, was last night and this morning. Judge Napolitano, first patriot to shoot down a government spy drone, will be a hero. Blast illegal use of plastic drones to spy on Americans in their backyards. And we got two different clips I'm going to play because he's absolutely on target. But in the first part of the Fox News clips, because they're both up there, I'm not going to play that. We don't have time. They're like, in the newscast piece, it's so wonderful watching you in your backyard in case you do something. Are those potted plants really bombs? Is that potting soil a bomb? We need to be watched to keep us safe from Tim McVeigh. All of you will be watched. And then they cut to the Shepard Smith and then Napolitano. I mean, it's amazing how they push this stuff. But then you have the judge on to say it's wrong. Continuing, the military's involved. It's totally illegal. We're going to be breaking that down. 12-year-old put in jail by mistake. That's out of WLFI. And I tell you about this all the time. I mean, thousands of cases a year in L.A. alone they're reporting on where just innocent people are arrested because of computer glitches. Doesn't matter. Still might fall down and hit your head, or I hope you enjoy getting TB in the jail or getting raped by a 400-pound guy named Oscar because they want everybody in the prison. There's famous cases, the woman arrested for no seatbelt. She's never been touched before by anybody but her husband. She starts screaming and crying, so they beat her half to death and put her in the restraint, and she's crying and sobbing, saying, I'm sorry, and the blood's all running out, and the guys are all getting off on it. They like to hurt people, a lot of these guys. That's who they're trying to recruit, and they're going to hurt you. Don't you worry. Yeah. Oh, but, I thought none of this was going to happen. Oh, there's not going to be drones and blimps, Jones. But now they're announcing, and people are like, well, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, I need the Pentagon watch me with a drone. Spy satellites we paid for watching farmers under the new Agenda 21. Not a law, but, the feds just say you can't build a barn. Or if your cows go down to the water's edge on a stream and any mud gets in it, that you're going to be fined and shut down. Or any hay dust, we're going to give you $2,000 fines and shut you down and arrest you. And you can't have your kids doing chores either. Just shut up. Shut up. Government's God. And I can't go anywhere now without checkpoints and police, or go on my own family ranch without game wardens, 6, 7 of them showing up, telling me they're in a federal task force. They're local game wardens, but very proud they're a federal task force and want to see if I'm scared. I mean, can you imagine all day as a man wanting to scare people? Oh, I'm so scared. You're pathetic. Make me sick. Continuing here, bunch of scum. I know all the sitcoms and TV shows are how you're all heroes. Yeah, well, a lot of you aren't bad people individually, but the system, it's like you're on board a ship captained by the devil. And I don't like that ship. That ship is controlled by something bad. You're like, hey, I'm just here, sweeping the decks, man. I'm just sweeping the deck. It doesn't matter, buddy. You're on the devil's train. You understand that? Just like German soldiers. The Germans said the same thing. They said, Romans 13, do what government says, Hitler's of God. Look it up. And they also said, well, I don't support the Nazis, but I support our troops. I support our troops. And boy, you did support them, didn't you? 20 million Germans, if you count in the military. 21 million, if you do the total number. 21 plus million died. Oh, that was, so you supported them, didn't you? Ooh, you support keeping them in these wars that 70+% in polls don't want to be part of, including the military. 5, 6, 7, 8 tours. Record suicide. Oh, you're sure supporting them. See, support the troops nowadays means doing what the foreign bankers that run the government say. All right, I'm going to give you more of the headlines coming up, and I'm going to commit a crime on air when we get back. A hardcore crime. No, that's not cocaine in the bottom of this glass. This is something even more evil. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Associated Press and Yahoo are reporting bank run fears spread to Spain. We told you that 2 days ago. It's also in Italy. Get the news here first before it's announced by the globalists. This is all part of the banksters just squeezing Europe. So coming up, spy drones, what they're up to, 12-year-old put in jail by mistake. Delegate warns of black youth mobs, which are confirmed to be targeting Whitey, but hey, what's wrong with that? Media said it was good, all part of trying to get people divided in this country. Again, Spain entered recession amid fears of Eurozone bank run. This copy here is French news agency. Continuing, good news, military detention law blocked by New York judge, the NDAA. Of course, they never follow what the judges say anyways. I've seen that for a while. Prominent activist backs Occupy Bilderberg campaign that we've launched. And a lot of folks are coming the 31st of this month through the 3rd or so there in Chantilly, Virginia, confronting the real problem. And, this big activist, I'll tell you about him later. It's up at Infowars.com. David Swanson, who helped break the Downing Street memo information, seen as a cause celeb in the left. He goes, why don't we go protest the big, NATO summits, G20s? Why don't we go protest the real elite meeting in secret? Because the left always said that didn't exist. They want you to believe it's just Republicans and Democrats, Tory, Labor, left, right. Not that both sides are controlled at that level. I mean, look at how Obama is financed by the very same people financing Mitt Romney. The company Mitt Romney ran and basically controlled and partially owned, Bain Capital, is giving money to Obama, double the amount given to Mitt Romney. And Mitt Romney still owns part of it. I mean, it's a joke. They're stealing tens of trillions of dollars and then using your money to pay for 30,000 drones, TSA, highway checkpoints, all these weapon systems for us, the criminals. And they are getting all the police stirred up in a frenzy against us. It's just so ridiculous that this is happening. But first, I want to get into this report. It's at Infowars.com, originating with Mike Adams at naturalnews.com. LA County health enforcers conduct door-to-door raw milk confiscation operations. They, of course, have raided long-standing raw milk sellers, pastures, and they've gotten their customer list and are going door-to-door. This is confirmed, demanding the fresh, real milk back. Now, again, 60 years ago, all you could get was raw milk. They started boiling it so they could feed you the blood and pus and overworked cows that their udders produce. With real milk, it lasts longer, by the way, than the pasteurized, but if there's any impurities, you can't sell it. I mean, you'll immediately find out who's doing good milk, and statistically, it's very, very low problems. But it's kind of like they want to have feces and disease on the chicken and beef, so they spray it with live viruses now that, quote, eat the bacteria. You think I'm joking? Look up viral spray put on meat, ABC, MSNBC. In fact, put that on screen. Folks won't believe it. That was approved 6 years ago, causing massive gut problems because the virus is just incredible. It's a vaccine they spray, and in the big giant tanks where they make it, there's other viruses and microplasms in there. So enjoy your Crohn's, leaky gut. All of this is just exploding. Yeah, now it's going to be 1 in 10 is going to have a gut disorder. Used to be 1 in a couple thousand. Yeah, used to be 1 in 25,000 had autism. Now it's 1 in 58. Yeah. But that's all right. All that poison, GMO, spraying fluoride on the crops as pesticide, bioaccumulating through the cell walls, all of that's okay. Radiating the food, killing its nutritional value. There it is, FDA-approved spray-on virus to keep processed meats safe. Isn't that just special? Isn't that just sweetsy pie? Anyways, but that's not a problem. LA County health enforcers conduct door-to-door raw milk confiscation operations, and they say, we're coming in and force their way in illegally. But hey, who needs that? I mean, look, imagine they come to your house. I mean, I got raw milk at my house. And Texas, again, hasn't gone completely New World Order yet, but it will. Don't worry. And then they're like, yeah, we hear you got it. We're coming in. Because we're the health department. We're going to keep you safe. Really? The health department set up in 1910 or so in England, 1915 in the United States, in New York, New Jersey, and it spread to 35 states. They were the ones that would come grab you, no judge, no jury, and then bring you before a fake family court they just set up and have a eugenicist. I've played the newsreels here. Say, well, your brother is mentally ill, so that means you're unfit. I order you sterilized. And they whack the gavel. That's in Endgame. Blueprint for global enslavement. And they take you away and cut out your uterus. And people say, well, they don't do that. They just cut your fallopian tubes. No. They back then and still, because this is going on to the 80s, last time it leaked, they like to chop out the full deal. It's just part of the enjoyment process. Because you might get a little soft kill, complication on top of it. Continuing, of the mother, that's the best part with the UN program of the tetanus shots, because you don't just cause a second trimester abortion for the rest of the woman's life when you give them the tetanus shot added to the female hormone, causing an autoimmune response to it. You also then get a good soft kill ratio because it causes all sorts of inflammation, polyps, cysts, and tumors in the uterus, but especially in the ovaries. Very loving, very good people. But they're nice. The drones are good. And the TSA on the streets groping people, violating the 4th and 10th Amendment, that's good too. And again, I shouldn't be so extreme. LA County health enforcers conduct door-to-door raw milk confiscation operations. You can read the whole article. LA County health enforcers go door-to-door, demanding your fresh milk. It's kind of like in New Mexico a few months ago. They had an annual thing where the neighbors in the country got together and had a big cookout, less than 100 people. They brought their potatoes and tomatoes, and you get there in the morning, chop them up. By lunch, have a snack, and then at dinner, have this big feast, beef, chicken, all off their own farm.